If you are a higher wage or income earner in 2025, you could be subject to paying a higher Part B and D premium. This penalty is what is known as an IRMAA penalty, which stands for Income Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. The penalty is based off your modified adjusted gross income from 2 years prior. Let me give you an example. If you are going on Medicare this year in 2025, then Medicare will use your modified adjusted gross income from 2023. Once again, this penalty will affect both your Medicare Part B, that's B as in boy, and Part D premiums, whether you stay on original Medicare or you go on a Medicare Advantage plan, which is also known as a Part C plan. So what are some of the sources that count as income towards your IRMAA penalty? Well, this is straight from Medicare.gov. So they are wages, Social Security benefits, pensions, and rental income, interest, dividends, and capital gains, distributions from traditional retirement accounts like 401ks and IRAs, and taxable portions of your Social Security benefits. What income sources are not counted towards your IRMAA penalties? Those are going to be your Roth IRAs, your Roth 401ks, and if you take withdrawals from them, they are not included in the calculation. Let's take a look at the different brackets or the different charges that you could be subject to depending on what your modified adjusted gross income is in 2023. Now, most people, as you see here on the screen, are going to pay the $185. That is why I highlighted it in yellow. However, if we go down to number 3 here, where it says if I'm filing an individual tax return and I'm above $129,000 up to $161, or if I'm filing a joint tax return and I'm above $258,000 up to $322, now my Part B premium is going to be $370. And you can see the other different brackets or categories here. But once again, I need to stress, most people are going to be in the 185 bracket. Now, let's take a look at your Part D premium. Once again, they're using the modified adjusted gross income from 2025. Most people are going to be in this top category. That's why I have it highlighted in yellow, which means there won't be any additional penalties. However, if I go down to the third category again, and I see here that if I file an individual tax return and I'm above 133 up to 167, or if I file a joint tax return and I'm above 266 up to 344, Medicare is going to charge me an additional $35.30. Let me give you an example. The lowest drug plan for this year is 0 in most zip codes. However, if I was subject to this IRMAA penalty, I would have to pay $35.30 for that whole year for that drug plan. Now, the good news is Medicare reviews this yearly, so it doesn't mean that you're going to be stuck paying this amount. However, if you feel like, hey, I've had some type of life-changing event that was caused over the past couple of years that has greatly reduced my household income, then you can file an IRMAA penalty appeal. I will show you that form here real quickly. This is a form called SSA-44 form. And if you look here on the screen, it says the type of life-changing event that I must have before I can file any kind of appeal. So if I had a marriage, that I got married, or I had a divorce or annulment, or I had a death of a spouse, or work stoppage, or work reduction, loss of income-producing property, loss of pension income, employer settlement payment, okay? If you do not have one of these type life-changing events, you will not be able to file an appeal. You can see the different steps. You can go get this form online, or you can call your local Social Security office or the national Social Security number, and they will send this form for you if you believe that you qualify for one of these events. And you can see all the different steps that you need to follow in order to appeal this IRMAA penalty. Hopefully you got some value out of today's video. Please take a moment to comment, like, subscribe. This just helps us get this information out to more people. And by the way, if you are new to Medicare and you're feeling overwhelmed and confused, then go check out my brand new 2025 Medicare overview here.